All right, are we live? All right. Hello, 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 hello. And we are live. Hello, everyone. Doing a bit of a late night stream here. Gonna do some work on the tier list. I've been making a ton of progress with it outside of the live streams. It is coming. I've also made the interesting decision to split the tier list or the next part in the two separate parts just so I can get something out there a bit faster. I'll be honest with you, I've not done as much. I haven't been able to get as much out on the tier list as I initially wanted. It just takes a while. Is it public? It is public. Okay, good. Alright. So, I've done up to Bujin on the bottom half, and I've done a few of these miscellaneous ones on the top. So the next up on our list is Starry Night. Hey, just want to say love your stuff. Thank you, Sakurai Anime. Let me... and especially the tier list stuff. Thank you. Will we see an updated video once it's done? Great stuff. Yeah. I'll do part 4. Or tier 4, but like it'll be parts 3 and 4 of this particular run of the tier list series. It has been I tend to only like rogue decks that no one else plays. Same, actually. Let's see. It's so fun seeing you work with them. Thank you. I have been cooking up some crazy deck lists for this particular wave of the tier list series. Let me see if I can show you one real quick here. Realized I forgot to open up EDO Pro before this. I have been trying to cook up a Sylvan deck list. It's been pretty... This deck is so hard to cook for. Like, you want to run the Theron and Sun Avalon stuff, because every plant deck has to run it. But due to how just bad the Sylvans are, you have to trade a lot of deck space to make them work properly. Pearly, I just got here. I'm not sure if you made a video or not, but I'm waiting for you to talk about the unbans in One Piece. I made a post about it. I'm probably not going to do a full video. I'll summarize my thoughts really quick on that. I think... Here, let me just... talk... Well, that's my store. But yeah, this... Bandai folded to community pressure. And I think that's great they actually listened to the community. Because the bans and restrictions were just kind of bad and overdone. I unanimously just think this is a good thing. Although, turns out, by the way, the ban might actually not have been that, like, effective. So there are some... let me pull this up. Pull this... Go into a Discord here. But Trafalgar Law is looking like it would still be meta, even with the bans and restrictions. It's crazy. Like, actually. But I do think what Bandai did is a good thing. Anyone who sold their the cores, sorry, but it was probably always going to be temporary. A lot of the decks were still good anyway, except for Whitebeard. And the high rarity... So here's a tip for everyone. High rarity collector's cards will still have value, even if they're banned or unplayable. For example, stick with One Piece. King, which... Oh my god, there's so many. Why am I in Yu-Gi-Oh? King, which is an unplayable leader card, is still $55. It's not usable in any deck. It's the worst leader in the game, but still has value. Someone in the Discord said someone had to tell them in another department that they're about to print a banned deck. No. That would be insane if Bandai actually had that issue. Like, it's clear from anyone that the communication was bad. But there's no way it was that, like, that disconnected. Oh, also, side note, everything, because they're not reprinting OP1 and OP2, all prices have just shot through the roof. Marco was $1 to $3 for the past couple days, and after 1 hour, the announcement, it was insane. Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know, I held on to my playsets because I just... One, I still like playing... I want to play red decks casually. I'm really excited for the new red-purple Luffy. But, yeah. Crazy. It was $10 in literally like an hour after. Doesn't surprise me. It's like the Trafalgar Law leader hit, I think, $400 or $500 for a bit. Alright. Back to the tier list. I'm currently going to do some Starry Nights here. So, Starry Night are probably one of the most disappointing decks I think I've seen in a while. They have gotten like a ton of new support, but they're just not good. Like, I mean, what are their main effects again? Yeah, it's a normal summon, search, not bad. And then they have to get into the big one. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you about One Piece, my guy. But back to the video. Isn't this maintenance on the tier list heavy? Yes. Yes, it is. This is like the third or fourth live stream I've done like this, and it just takes forever. Because it takes a good, at a minimum, 30, 40 minutes to write a deck description. And that's assuming I don't do something like what I did with Archfiend, which I read a 70-page document explaining how to play the deck. And if you don't believe me, I'll pull it up right now. Where is it? Morphage. Here it is. Why are you like this, Google? Don't make me update, but... Like, look at the... Like... This document is always treated as an Archfiend document. I read through this. I shouldn't have, but I did. I understand what the deck does now. I mean, it's literally every deck. Like, I feel so bad because there's over 1,000 decks in One Piece. 70-page doc. Yeah. It's crazy. A lot of decks. So on the decks I don't like understand or play myself a lot, I do try to go into the communities for it and see if there's anything about it. And some communities, they're really dedicated. Like Archfiends. There's a YouTube channel called The Archfiend Guy. Please tell me. He's the guy who made the document, and he's really good. Make sure I shout him out properly here. I think I linked one of his videos. Yeah, The Archfiend Guy. If you care, I wish he still did stuff, but he's really good. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, every deck has them. Some don't. I was really disappointed that the Gradle community is just kind of dead. Because I think Gradles have, like, decent usage if you tech them out correctly. Especially the ones that say when they're destroyed by card effects, or like a spell effect. If you gave them something like synergistic, like a Zodiac Barrage or something, which banned example, I know, but in theory, you could trigger their effects faster than people are. You disoriented me because you said 70-page document. The Infernoble community is dedicated, and I had a headache trying to go through like 4 pages of the spreadsheet. Free of Age of Overlord. Oh, dude, I feel that. It is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Combos are insane. And even if I don't explain everything in depth, I like to make sure I understand it enough to give each deck a fair shake. It's hard to do. It takes a lot of time. That's why it's like 3 months in between the last video. And the decks only go up in complexity is a big thing. We'll see what I do when I get to tier 5. But I think it'll come along. Now, where did I X out of my here it is. Starry Nights. Let's quick refresher. What does the big guy do? If this card is normal or special summoned from the hand, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. Cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark monster or by a dark monster's effects. Then it has banish effect. And I believe the big thing with this deck was not the field spell. Oh. Yeah, so weird dark monster restrictions. And it's level 7 light monsters. Like, it's you take the fairies, you tag them out for dragon monsters. That's what it was. It's not bad, it's just not great either. Yeah, quick effect, target one light monster you control, tribute it, special light dragon monster from your hand. You can manage a card from your graveyard. Make it gain attack, yeah. Just boring. So I think we'll reflect that with the write-up. Let's look at another deck list, make sure I'm not... A potential forgotten deck. Oh, this is an interesting way to build it. Let's move this to the main screen. Let's see. So, Starry Nights, of course, are a Bystal deck. That makes sense. Yeah, this was the field spell. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Starry Night monster, or a level 7 light monster in addition to your normal summoner set. When you return to face a level 7 monster controller returns to the hand, you can draw one card. Okay, this build is relying mostly on Chaos Angel. Not too great. I know for a fact this deck hasn't topped anything. Should we check the Discord for this to see if there are any potential guides? Yeah, I think I'll do that to be fair. Starry Night Dragon is just a bad dragon. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh combos are insane. Not the Head Alliance. We want... Okay. Starry Night be under S. Is this a new archetype? Hold on. Swear to God, did I miss an archetype? Oh no, this is new. I don't have to do this yet. We'll come back to this later. I got a heart attack and thought I was making negative progress there for a second. Team 5Ds, Symphonic Warrior, Sylvan, the real issues. Suship, Super Quantum, Super Heavy Samurai, Sun Avalon, Powered Aether Summoner, Hidden City, Stars in the Heaven. That's Star Warrior, that's different. Star Seraph. Star Seraph? I think I have Star Seraph on here. That's Sticks and Chairs. Starry Night Sky, here it is. Theory crafting, ratio, other decks. I got a card new. Oh yeah, new issue will be support. Unrelated, but cracked. Let's see, anything in the pinned messages? No, not really. That seems like a good... Okay. It seems like it's most popular as a stun-type Floodgate deck here amongst the community. What's this server that has links to all the Discords for every deck's community? It is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sub-server. Or Yu-Gi-Oh! Discord repository. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sub-server is another thing. It is the most helpful Discord server if you care about niche archetypes. I believe I have an invite link in one of my deck profile, not deck profile, probably deck profiles, yeah, actually. It's linked in one of my videos. I can't remember which one I did it on. But it's very important if you like carrying my stuff. Alright. Anything big in theory crafting? That's the new support card. New is a strong word. No, nothing pinned in combos. That's not good. That's a neat way to do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much here, so we're safe to assume this isn't too far out of the realms of what we're looking for. Kashtira Starry Night? That's pretty cool. They didn't age too out the ban list, but it makes sense you could use both the level 7s to make rank 7s. Oh, hold on. You know... Okay, that's worth mentioning as a tech. So, tech-wise, Starry Nights have several unique options. Kashtira Birth enables easy normal summons of Starry Dragon. Tira is just a solid engine. Where was it? Oh, another one. What does this do? You contribute some to this card by attributing one effect monster during your opponent's main phase. If a card is added from the main deck to their hand, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, attribute some of this card. Whoa. If this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can make your opponent banish the top cards of their deck face down, equal to the number of cards in their hand, then shuffle their hand into the deck, and then add the cards banished. Huh, that's not great. It's funny, but it's not great. Special summoned. Okay, yeah, you have bad fairy synergy too as well. SP is so expensive too, for real. Luckily, my testing partner lent me his Lamel. Oh man, I was playing at my locals today, and I haven't bought one yet because I gave up on the Rescue Ace Dream after seeing the $400 price tag on just updates. Not even the core. I have the Rescue Ace core. I just don't want to buy Sinful Spoils and like 2 SP Little Knights. Just had one for $100 in the case, and I'm like, why would I do that when I could buy like 2 one-piece decks with that money? I'm gonna buy an SP deck. We'll probably get one. We already got a new IP Masquerena support card that's really cool with it. Yeah. Okay. Alright, what is that spelling of dragon? Tech-wise, Starry Nights have several unique options. Kashtira Birth enables easy normal summons of Starry Dragons, and Kashtira is just a solid engine. Most popular tech-wise would be Bystrils, as the deck is dragon-oriented and entirely light. Oh, okay. Outside of this, it's anyone's guess. as whether or not to use Janky Fairy support or random dragon support. Honestly, Fairy and Dragon just don't have much overlap. There we go. Okay. Got the H in weather. Now, Starry Night as a deck, I told my locals GC that I built Purple Luffy, still have cards for my good stuff, and Bullet Pearl Reiju deck for what I could pay for just 4 Sinful Spoil cards alone. Yeah, it's bad. It's Yugioh. Man. Like, this bad deck here is 175, and I'm guessing it's probably this Chaos Angel. Yeah, $70. This is $20 still. It's getting reprinted in a starter deck. Why are you $70 or $17? Hope Harbinger. Yeah. Like, all the money for this deck is in, like, a few staple cards. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So, how do we describe Starry Night? Forgettable gimmick of there we go. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the most expensive card game to play competitive besides something like Flesh and Blood. Oh god, Flesh and Blood's awful. It's like it's a few thousand to play a deck. Right. Starry Night are a forgettable archetype with the unique gimmick of using level 4 fairy monsters. The tag with the unique gimmick, yeah. To tag into a big level 7 light dragon monster. The deck has the bare minimum of searching, the bare minimum of disruption, and the bare minimum of recursion. For the Infernoble Night deck that Pack played, you could build Red Green Law, Yellow Katakuri, and at least Purple Luffy or Sakazuki. Yeah, you probably could. It's crazy. The deck has the bare minimum of searching, the bare minimum of recursion, and the bare minimum of disruption. That is why the deck is so non-existent in the average player's mind. Cards also have this weird bonus if your opponent controls a dark monster. Once again, like other archetypes, this is just too inconsistent to be competitive. And what if your opponent Also, that is disruptions. Summoning, yep. Which is odd and clunky. There we go. Bro, imagine spending $200 on 2 Little Knights just for her to be banned in a couple of months. I'm not sure they're going to ban her. Competitive players really like the card. And it could be like a hand trap thing where it's like, yeah, this is, you know, just casual 100% competitive saturation. But people aren't complaining about it that much, unless you're poor. So who knows what Konami will do. There we go. Starry Knight are a forgettable archetype with the unique gimmick of using level 4 fairy monsters to tag into a big level 7 light dragon monster. The deck has the bare minimum of searching, the bare minimum of recursion, and the bare minimum disruption. That's why the deck is so non-existent in the average player's mind. Cards also have this weird bonus if your opponent controls a dark monster. Once again, like other archetypes, this is just too inconsistent to be competitive. Also, the deck's main disruptions come in the form of quick effect summoning the level 7 Starry Night Dragon, which is odd and clunky. Tech-wise, Starry Knights have several unique options. Kashtira Birth enables an easy normal summon of Starry Dragons, and Kashtira is just a solid engine. Most popular tech-wise would be Bystrals, as the deck is dragon-oriented and entirely light. Outside of this, it is anyone's guess as to whether or not to use janky fairy support or random dragon support. Honestly, fairy and dragon just don't do much to overlap. You could also play this deck as a stun build and take away any of the already minimal uniqueness the deck has. There we go. You know, just fill out the few. There we go. That's a fair enough right writing of Starry Night. Ritual Beast cards just revealed their mid. I disagree. They're crazy. Like, let me pull them up here. Okay. All right. Level 1 is crazy. It is a tuner. It can give you an extra normal summon. It gives protection, which is mid. But most importantly, when it is banished, it summons a Ritual Beast from the deck. It's got the good name too, so it can be used on either or side. The fusion monster seems bad until you realize you can fusion summon from graveyard. Which is important because it tags out into something else. It is also another name for fusion summoning, which is important. Honestly though, that's one of the reasons why this card is so good. It is another name. The Link monster is not the best thing ever, but it is funny. It turns off tributing, which, that hits things. It shouldn't hit things, but it does. Like, it'll stop Infernoids, which is the funniest thing, which is why it is there. It stops Infernoids. Let's look through our tier list here and see what that hits. It does hit things. Lag. What tributes as a cost? Theron's tribute as a cost for their negates, I believe. Runic's tribute as a... it obliterates Rika out of the water. Does that stop kaijus? Yes. Yes, it does stop kaijus. I might be getting this a bit wrong because there's a good chance the translation could be wonky, but I believe it would stop that. It stops a lot of things. Like, it's not like major. Oh, heaven forbid you play against Flunderies, you know. And it also has a quick effect banish one and an additional normal summon. So in Ritual Beast, you wouldn't actually lose that much tempo making it. This is mid. This is actually mid. It is a consistency card. You're probably going to play it. It is searchable off Kanahawk, so you know you kind of have to. But this is our solid. It's just going to continue to the 20-minute combo turds Ritual Beast are known for. Oh, it is to activate a card effect? Okay. Yeah, kaijus are not effects that activate. That still stops a lot of relevant stuff. That would stop Drytrons. That would stop Rika. That would stop Therons. Yeah. And what else would that stop? Things that tribute as cost. Yeah, it stops a few things. It's not as... Doesn't stop tribute summoning. Doesn't stop Flunderies. That matters. Flu passes it, yeah. What? But yeah, no, that will be relevant. Mostly the quick effect banish is pretty solid. That is gonna help give it a better matchup because banish removal is good removal. I need to fix this. I only did the preliminary stuff at looking at the top meta. Spoilers, this is what it's probably gonna be, as it is right now. Unchained, Rescue Ace. Sprite is not entirely accurate. Probably more like this. And I need to really evaluate the bottom of tier 9. This is just probably what it is with the top right now. Kurkar was meta because Cash Tira. Literally everyone said it was terrible for months. Now it's nearly a $30 card. It does stop Kurikar. That's funny. Yeah, like most meta staples, they come and go. Droll is not a playable card every format. Usually a good side deck option every format, but it's not a main deckable thing. Kashtira were an odd meta deck because they did lose to all of the generic stuff, like Nibiru. It's been a while since you could Nibiru a meta deck. Our Emancipators just go, yum, Nibiru. Want to bounce for a little bit? Thanks for the info, everyone. Hopefully the stream's still up when I'm free again. If not, night y'all. Thanks for checking out my stream. Nice to have you here. Yeah. That's a good write-up for Starry Night. What is next? It's my Rock Boys. Love this. This is best. Chronomaly Nebra Disc is one of my favorite artworks. And what's so funny about it is literally just a historical artifact on the thing. Like, the original has the smiley face, too. It's the... Oh. So I saw a post of someone making Nebra Disc cookies. It was great. And not like the Yu-Gi-Oh card, like the actual artifact. Now, I actually have a list for Chronomalies. Let me pull that up. Because I am pretty confident I understand this deck. There it is. Did I do a deck profile on this? I believe I did. Let me check that real quick. Cube Studio. If I did a deck profile on it, we're going to... what is my deck profile? 90% sure I did. I do so many videos. Hmm. There it is. Oh, God. Really, YouTube? See, I'm terrified of doing this because if I enable YouTube ads, they could show me an ad that, like, theoretically gets me, like, in trouble. It's bad. Luckily, it's just a generic Nike ad, but I've seen them do some stuff. I don't know what that ad is, but I'm terrified because I've seen people get banned for showing ads. Okay. This deck kind of spicy. You get the Quackimero. They use Adamantipator support. My Rocky boys. Remember what I used to do deck profiles like with this layout? It had so many problems. It does look nice though. Oh, I be using the banned cards. No. Alright. We'll have to come up with something new then. Can no longer depend on Helki Fibrax. Let's see, does anyone else have any... I have... It's Chronoly... How are you spelled? Chrono... Oh. Oh, Master... Oh, no, he's not running Helki Fibrax. We are running the Scythe... Oh, but we're not... Bizarre list. I don't understand it, so I'm going to move on. Glorious numbers. If you control no monsters, target one number XOZ monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then draw one card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one number XOZ monster you control. Attach one card from your hand to it as material. Okay, that's an okay effect. It goes into this, which is funny. Yeah, this is not an expert list. Yeah, I'm going to have to build one myself. Yo, B-Trooper Chronomaly? This is terrible. I love it. This card is sent from the field graveyard. You can enable a fire insect monster. What's the level 5 or higher insect monster you run? Oh, it's the generic ones. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to, I think Adamantipator is still probably the best way to play this. Nibiru. What do we replace this for? When I started to play, my first deck was Cyber Dragons, and as a newbie, I searched for cheap support, played Chronomaly on it. That used to be something you could do. Chronomaly as a deck have been very interesting. I'm assuming you played the... Not the Jet engine. Was it Jet? Yeah, it was the Jet engine, because it's just a machine monster, easy rank up. There are all sorts of stuff you can do. My favorite tech is Message in a Bottle. This card says target 3 monsters with different levels in your graveyard. Special summon all of them, but their attack becomes 0. The original effects are negated, and during the end phase of this turn, you lose 4,000 life points if you did not XYZ summon after special summoning those 3 monsters. You cannot summon other monsters except by XYZ summoning. During the turn, you activate this card. This used to be one of the funniest plays to make. It's way too slow now, but if you had like one other monster on the field, you could very easily get a level 5, 4, and 3 onto the field, normal summon one of them, and then make like Cyber Dragon stuff, and then plus a generic rank 4 or 3. Let's see, I was running Esperanza Glyph. What does this do? Target, oh. Yep. This trap card's nuts. It just... If you control an XYZ monster card, special summon... Just make the rank, like, make the rank 5 Chronomaly. So it rewards you for throwing out Granite. Yeah. It rewards you for filling out like granite for consistency, because you can immediately go into like this. Let's see. What's like generic synchro stuff I'm supposed to run? Oh, I knew we need a new link too. Because we're running Warlord Savage. Did I just think about generic link 2 and wondering what to run for a second? What am I doing? Is my keyboard broken? No, I'm just bad at typing. Alright. Let's see how to... Do you have Corn on the only hand? Nope. So what we do... Normal summon. See, activate effect. See if this card special summon. You got from Guardian here probably. We're gonna special summon into. So what we do. This is just trying to remember how this deck plays. Really, the only thing keeping together Chronomaly is just how good they are without Emancipators. Yep. See, like this, we already have a monster negate, and if we don't get unlucky here, we can go into some other stuff. What do you do again? Okay, yeah. Or Crystal Bones for level 5. Probably the level 4, and then we get to use the effect. Yes, then we're going to dump this one, because it lets us get a... special summon into this. Going to keep building board. I'm just going to put this in the hand. I forgot how fun Emancipators are. I guess we have to go... We go into tuner, go into board. It's not too good here. So I guess what we do is just make another level rank 4. Honestly, though. SP isn't bad. So the play here, this is actually a really good example of how good a generic inboard can be. You can either go into Abyss Relic if you're playing against Unchained or Tearlaments, or if you're playing against something else, you go IP, which can go into either Apollosa and SP Little Knight later on. Because we still have a full monster negate with this. So I'd say we just do this for example's sake. Yeah. Hey, it's the Easter egg guy from Power of the Elements. Yeah. It's, best deck. Oh, yeah, and you have Gorgonic Guardian. All right. I can do a write-up of this now. Phenomenal. A Zexal XYZ turbo deck based off of the biggest thing. Hold it. We'll go biggest thing so we can talk about two things in the sentence. Whether is an actually using rank 5 monster negate, and the fact that most of the deck's key monsters are rock type. This means generic support. What else? Like Quakimeru. Like Gannett. Quakimeru. And of course, the crazy powerful Adamantipator. That is, one day I'll... Let's see. I don't have... Let's see. What is the best card for selling? Probably. Am I not winning one crystal or crystal skull? Easy farming. And most Esperanza glyph. Rank 4. There we go. Does Globe lock you into something? I remember it was good. Let me... I think it does, actually. Oh, is it? No, it was just not great. Tribute this card, special summon one Chronomaly monster from your deck. Except this card, and if it's graveyard, you can banish one Chronomaly card from your grave and add this card to your hand. Why don't... Oh yeah, it's a machine type and we're playing Adamantispators. That's why I don't run this. Like, it's... Nebrodisk is already too many machine monsters. It's very intentional how I have this deck set up. If this was a rock type, it would be a lot better. Because then you would love to just go, oh, boop, tag out. We can go into either a level 3 Earth one to make Nat Beast, or if we want to go one higher and go into a rank or level 7 Synchro, we can do that as well. That's why I don't run it. Also, there aren't a lot of good on-summon effects from Chronomalies. Well, this one isn't bad, actually. Hold on. Controls, let's go 6. Oh, it locks you into Chronomaly monsters. I was like, can we make Hike Wave King Caesar? No, we cannot. Marooned. And these, I love this deck's art style. It's just, like, you have enough of, like, the crazy conspiracy stuff, like the Crystal Skull, and, like, all of them, actually. Like, Crystal Cosmonaut, and they're all based off, like, historical sites, but, like, crazy technology things. Man. Love this deck. We need one for the Greek gearbox that exists. It's just so cool. Oh, I'm gonna end up building this deck IRL again. I used to think that Chronomaly was the light version of Earthbound Immortals. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, yeah, they do have the same, like, art style. That'd be cool if they did that in, like, lore, but Earthbound Immortals are 5Ds, and this is definitely Zexal, because it's XYZs. One day I'll watch 5Ds and Zexal. I have a confession here. I actually haven't watched any of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime outside of Season 0 in the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Which, from Yu-Gi-Tuber, I know. Iffy. There we go. Okay. Wakimiro. The deck also has like 5s, meaning Cyber, Dragon, Infinity, and other generic like 5s. Let's see. Side of that, most of the Legacy XYZ monsters are dedicated to OTKs and jank removal. Let's see. Right? Yeah. Burn damage. Oh my god. I forgot how bad this was. Yeah. I'll say jank burn. That's more accurate. What else should I say about Chronomaly? I feel like they deserve more. The deck has easy access to Nat Beast, but that's just Adamancipator stuff. Terraria Beast. And any... Right. Five V's is good, but the others are bad. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I hear Arc 5 is really... Not Arc 5. What's Arc 5? Arc V? Yeah. Oh. What? Arc V is the one after Zexal, right? The Pendulum one? Because I hear that one's really good up until, like, the last few arcs. There's my build of Adamancipator. Yeah, that'll work. Let's read this all out and make sure we're good. Chronomaly are a Zexal XYZ turbo deck based off of archaeological Chronomaly are a Zexal XYZ turbo deck based off archaeological artifacts and sites. The biggest things holding the deck together is an actually amazing rank 5 monster negate, and the fact that most of the deck's key monsters are rock type. This means generic support like Gallant Granite, Quacky and of course the crazy powerful Adamantipator engine. Okay, yeah. Of course, the crazy... generic support like Gallant Granite, Quacky and of course the crazy powerful Adamantipator engine. This deck has easy access to Naturia Beast and any rank 4s imaginable. Generic I know, but good nonetheless. On their own, Adamanticators have cards like Crystal Bones for easy swarming, Nebra Disc for easy searching, and most significantly Esperanza Glyph for a free summon of a rank 5 XYZ monster for controlling a rank 4. This is a trap, so it plays around cards like Dark Ruler. There we go. The deck also has consistent access to rank 5 This deck also has consistent access to machine rank 5s, meaning Cyber Dragon Infinity and other generic rank 5s. Outside of that, most of the Legacy XYZ monsters are dedicated to OTKs and Jank Burn. Here's my build of Chronomaly Adamantipator. I recommend you give it a try. There we go. Chronomaly are way greater than Adamantipator confirmed. Wait, Chronomaly can beat no more? The Adamantipator enemy? Yeah. It's a trap. You solved the problem. It's great. Yeah, what's next? Oh, Laval, they got new support already, didn't they? Yeah, I think they did. TCG player. Did they get new support? Or is the new support for Lavavels not out yet? No, it wasn't Lavavels that are getting new support. It's, oh god, all the fire archetypes that I can't tell the difference between. It's not Salamangreat, it's Volcanics. Yeah, Volcanics look pretty crazy. The question is, does the new support make Lavels better? Yeah, Volcanics got all this funny stuff. Alright, let's... I'll have to rely on someone else for this. Alright, we need Laval, not. Show me the ranked Lavavel deck. This card is sent to the graveyard for a Synchro Summon. You can special summon this card. You must have 3 or more Laval monsters with different names in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. This card is special summoned with this effect. Banish it when it leaves the field. Okay. Wait, Lavavels have an FTK. Of course they have an FTK. Oh. Ah, yes. Why would we need to make a burn effect hard once per turn? It won't lead to any problems. This is stupid. Okay. Assuming, yeah. Laval Judgment Lord, Laval Lancer Lord. What was the big thing about... Oh, yeah. You use... Yeah, Multi-Conductor Field to send Laval Lady and something else. and then you just stack your graveyard with garbage, and then you activate Rekindling to just summon them all back. I think this will be a perfect, fine example to use my original writings of this as a base for the deck. Go into folder. Part 2. Yeah, part 2 is casual. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to use this as the base, and then we're going to add the updates in. I assume, let's see, what does all the new fire stuff do? Send 1 Pyro Monster. So the levels would have gotten, but they wouldn't have gotten more consistent. The problem with Lavavels, it isn't the monsters you want to see. You actually don't want to see the monsters. You need to see the few specific spells. Oh, the Sinful Spoil engines as well. Yeah, this, Lavavels are moving up a bit in the tier list then. I need to see someone, a list of this, because this is, yeah. There seems to be a lot going on here. Okay, let's take the base. I'm going to copy this as a cheap base to use. Where do I do it? Where's the export deck? Copy clipboard. Save this. YDK. Okay, how do I more? Do they not have the YDK option anymore, or am I just being stupid? Ah, there it is. Yeah, I am just being stupid. Okay. This will be the core. That's... What does this do? For monsters. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Red Resonator, that makes sense. What does Bro say about his deck? Just Laval Synchro Spam. I assume he wouldn't want a lot of these Laval monsters. Yeah. Well, send 1 card from him. That matters. We have better options to do that with. Ronald, of course. If I were... Huh. Oh, dear. Fire decks all got good? Yeah. Let's see. Control 3 more. I think this is just a bad hand. Effect. Gonna play around the ash. Boom. Effect. Go boom. Effect. Boom. Effect. Okay, this... Yeah, they actually looks like they made it a lot more consistent. What do you do? It's because normal summon you have a level... Huh. We have a level... I guess we now want this. No. Oh dear. Do Blaster. Blaster wouldn't be bad. We can make a rank. Okay, you know, I'm going to be real with you. I don't know enough about this deck to play it. I don't want to sit here on stream for an hour or so trying to learn it. Magical Mallet also seems like not a good card, but I understand why he's running it. And you can also run with Fire Kings. Yeah, I'm going to move this to top of tier 4. I think as a deck, Lavavels are still too inconsistent. Most of them don't do anything. But you still have the crazy combos you have. Laval needs a Link 1 that lets you discard a card to search a spell or trap that mentions Laval in its name. If you did that, they'd be insane. Like, actually. Because Molten Conductor Field is nuts. What do the other spells do? Oh yeah, Searing Firewall. Woo! Searing Firewall is also funny because it lets you just make a full link board. Yeah. Okay. Let's what I'm gonna do is just gonna deformat this real quick. Oh god, I had the formatting wrong. Oh no. That's part 2. That is, whoops. Don't save. This is what we want. And now the question is, where do we put, yeah, on top. I don't feel like Lavels are better than Noble Knights, but they look to be better than Battling Boxers. What an incredibly... Oh, and just because we're not going to get... Fire Kings will be put in tier 6 to be addressed later. This video will... I don't want to have to update it, and the structure deck's coming out, so, you know, that works out for me. Lavavels will be the very top. And let's scroll down. Noble Knights, yeah, Battling Boxer. This will work. Lavavel are a Fire Wombo combo deck that used to only rely on 3 cards. Molten Conduction Field, Rekindling, and where's the other one? And Searing Firewall. They would probably firewall lock you. Makes sense. Molten Conduction Field, Rekindling, and Searing Firewall. The idea was to abuse Laval, Volcano, Handmaiden to send... Where was it? Send 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Send 5 cards to grave, and then revive them for a massive, massive inboard. Luckily, modern nations of the deck have an absurd amount of new support. Konami has been pushing generic fire as a attribute for a while, so the deck has options. Snake Eyes get a free special give a free special summon. What else? Durandal is a free search. What else was the new support we got? It's the new volcanic stuff, yeah. Yeah. New ways to send graveyard and the soon to be Fire King enables new combos. There we go. Hey man, I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier list and the One Piece videos. I recommended lots of new players. Check out your How to Pick a Deck video. Thanks for the content. You're welcome. It's always good to hear that people are recommending my deck, right? My How to Pick a Deck series. I'll do a new one for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty soon. But I'm really glad they help new players get into the game. One Piece is a great game. As is Yu-Gi-Oh! Which Yu-Gi-Oh! needs... Eventually I'll do a how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorial series, but that's a ways off. But I do love it when my content helps with new players. Okay, let's spell check this. There's no... However, levels still fall to the bottom of the, I guess, totem of the fire totem pole. Not having the power of Fire Kings. The resilience of volcanics. Or the consistency of Infernoble. It's not bad, but it needs an amazing player to build a solid list for. You are running a ton of practically vanilla lava monsters. Okay. You're running a ton of practice. So even still breaking Inevitable. What else do we want to say? Oh yeah, they can use Tanny. Oh, that's a good tech. Neat. Most builds will end on generic synchro. Defleur. Oh, man. Lavels really are a weird deck to build around. This is the... yeah. I suppose you can play around Red Supernova Dragon pretty easily. That makes sense. Baron Fleur. Mega. And some of the unique Lavalval Vault. Vaval. Micro monsters. There we go. How's that? Brick City. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. What next? Paleos. Yeah, I moved Paleos down because they were really only doing well with frogs. And frogs are in jail. But we will do a quick check to see if anyone has done anything with them, although I'm not too sure. Paleos deserve a new monster. Alright, this is pretty cool. I like where this is going. You can target one Aqua Exo monster you control. Attach this card to it as material. Okay, so that's this energy, I guess. They're all Aqua, yeah. Let's see, the Paleo, 2 low, 3 low, 2 monsters. Yeah. Testinos are just so sad. Like, they're so close to being good, but they really just weren't it. Like, I wrote out the thing for Testinos before they got all their support, and then they just got the support, and the deck barely changed. It was sad. Sprite Paleozoic Adventure. Yeah, I suppose so. It doesn't seem bad, but it doesn't seem good either. So if I had to guess... What this deck is trying to do is use generic Sprite plays to set up for your standard board, plus make the Link 2 and this XYZ, or rank 2. So you can set these up from hand to set up for another line of disruptions. That's pretty neat, actually. And you got the Illegal Knight for reasons. Eh. What do you got, Master Duel? Oh, you still have frogs legal. Sad. They need a main deck monster to turbo into the extra deck. Could be on a normal summon another copy of itself from deck or graveyard. That would be cool. What Paleozoics really need though is like the Trap Trick starter or the Trap Tricks trap that says like discard one and you can activate it this turn. That is what really made Trap Tricks a playable rogue deck, is the ability to activate... Trap Tricks Holotea, just activate one now. Too many archetype? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we can use this one. This one is a good list to show. They're just... Paleos are too slow. They're a trap deck. Okay, let's scroll up to where we had the thing. Zoic. Are a monster trap deck that really never moved. When did they come out? What was it, like 2017, 2016? I need to check that real quick. Because they came alongside... Where did you come? When did you come out? Invasion Vengeance. When were you? Yeah, 2016. Oh, I feel old. And then make sure that's linked. They have sought enough disruptions, a Book of Moon, a banish, and back row removal. However, needing to spend a turn. However, needing to spend a turn setting up traps. And combined with the inherent vulnerabilities of back row decks, this deck, this archetype, has not aged well. That is one hell of a spelling of vulnerabilities. They're okay, they just need some starters. Yeah, 100%. And that's what this deck list seems to be trying to do with Sprite. But it's really not... It's not a full paleo deck, that's the thing. Deck is not aged well. This deck's sea monsters provide great consistency. Starting turn once the card in small traps plus the graveyard. Man. We'll say extra deck monsters. Provide immense consistency in this. And options. And the deck as in the deck. On the decks, monsters as a whole are affected by monster effects. Making them uniquely resilient. I am just on a roll spelling words incorrectly today. For the positives, this deck's extra. Yeah, we'll do like that. I like that actually. Being level 2 also opens the door for many good synergies. 2 also. Being level 2 and water type opens the door for some crazy synergies. Ojama Trio. Ojamas. Nimble. Ojamas. Nimbles. Sprites. And frogs have all been used at various points in this deck's history. Paleozoic are a monster trap deck that never really aged beyond 2016. They have solid enough disruptions, being able to throw out a Book of Moon, a Banish, and back row removal. However, needing to spend a turn setting up traps, and combined with the inherent vulnerabilities of back row decks, this archetype has not aged well. For the positives, this deck's extra deck monsters provide immense consistency and much needed disruptions. And the deck's monsters as a whole are unaffected by monster effects, making them uniquely resilient. Being level 2 in water type opens the door for some crazy synergies. Ojamas, Nimbles, Sprites, and Frogs have all been used at various points in this deck's history. However, let's see. Grass 60 called Paleozoic was a fun deck to play, but they fell off hard after Zoo died. Also, Ash Blossom hurt. Yeah. Just aren't the place for this deck. I can't go second. Can't go second. To hurt. Can't go second. Evenly matched. You'll end up having to almost entirely rely on an Sprite to do the heavy lifting needed to let you set up. It's not like Labyrinth or Trap Tricks where you have cards to set on your opponent's turn or activate a trap card immediately. However, modern formats just aren't the place for this deck. It can't go second. Evenly matched Lightning Storm, Cosmic Cyclone, and Harpy's Feather Duster hurt. You'll end up having to almost entirely rely on an outside deck like Sprite to do the heavy lifting needed to let you set up. It's not like Labyrinth or Trap Tricks, where you have cards to set up on your opponent's turn or activate a trap card immediately. That feels like fair. There we go. Alright, that's some progress. Let's see. Okay, how many decks do we have here? Let me do some counting real quick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 times 3. Let's see. 38. And 57. Then plus 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. So it'll be 34 decks in each part. And we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay. So what as I said, I'm going to split this part 2 into, or part 3 and or tier 4 into parts 3 and 4. So once we get these last remaining, or these 4 decks here, I will immediately go into recording and asset creation, so I can hopefully get this part out by the end of the week. And then since I've already done so much work with these other decks, I can have those out pretty quickly as well. Alright. On the Performapal. Performapal are an interesting one. Let's see. Oh, what am I typing into? Because look at how many Performapals there are. How did I even talk about these guys? I might have a stroke trying to take them all in. Pendulum deck or pure? That's the yeah. Well, the problem is they're all kind of one deck, but they're also not. Oh, thank you, Yugioh Pro. Let's start by doing... This one might actually have tournament results. Not like a major thing, but as a random pendulum tech, if that makes sense. Perform. Yep, as I thought. And now we get to make that tough call. Do I consider this a Performapal deck for the tier list? And judging by the, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards in the extra deck, or in the main deck? No, but it will be mentioned. I'm a trap player, so don't ask me. I think they all suck. Fair enough. I'm going to list this. Oh, man. Performapal are going to give me a stroke trying to figure out. Oh, dear God. You know, it's times like these where I'm glad I'm not a Pendulum player. Because Pendulum decks are overcomplicated. If Performance Foul Lady Yang is in your other Pendulum zone, you can add one Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect to perform a Pal Gintrude once per turn. Okay, so it's like a... Do you even run the other one? You do. This card's destroyed and you can place one Perform Pal Pendulum monster from your deck into your Pendulum zone, except Gintrude. If this card is face up in your extra deck, you can discard one Pendulum monster, add this card to your hand. Then you can return one Perform a Pal or Odd Eyes card from your Pendulum zone to your hand. That's not bad. That's actually really good. Ask Triff. Am I going to have to watch Triff gaming videos? Once return of this attack is cleared. Okay, that's bad. You discard this card and one Perform Pal monster, except this, then draw 2 cards. That's a good effect. If this card is in your graveyard and you control an Odd Eyes to Perform a Pal Gintrude, you can place a card in your Pendulum zone. That's actually a good engine. The question is how many people run it. And if this card... Oh my God, how do I... Do we consider the Pendulum archetype different than the main one? I would say no. I would consider Odd Eyes different from Perform a Pal. Because of attack, you can add one Odd Eyes Pendulum. Okay. If the card is in your hand or graveyard, and target one Perform a Pal or Odd Eyes monster you control. Special summon this card, then destroy that card. Okay. It just feels like modern Pepe. Which makes sense because they're still running, Sorcerer, Skullcrobat, Joker. Yeah. Is this OCG? What is this? TCG player. Master Duel. This is Master Duel. Okay. I should have been clued into by the Maxi. I think this... Where was it? Yeah, this one. I will also list this one. How good is this deck? I realistically can't... Okay. Who did this one? The Entertainer. Okay. This is what we need to see. Let's do a... See how this guy plays around this. He's got Fenrir, which is really hard to account for. Oh, he made Princess Sprite and Purely. They don't do that often. It's not the best Purely inboard I've seen, but let's see how he breaks it. Yep, there's Noir. Yep. Okay, so that does that, and the dump lets you replace it. Immediately going into the second one. Immediately goes into Beyond the Pendulum here. Now he has full Pendulum combo set up, but the Ash is going to stop that. I don't think that's what should have been Ash Blossomed. They normally have good inboards, but going second, they just kind of die. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this Purely player is bad. That is what I have determined here. Because this purely player just missed their opportunity to do their to stop this. Okay. Shoutouts to the entertainer. They know what they're doing with pendulums, and those are a rare breed of people. All right. Okay. Competing with heroes for the most amount of anime support. Competing with heroes with the most amount of anime support, but the least amount of love. But having the least amount of love is Perform Pals. This sometimes pendulum, sometimes not deck has a ton of major, has a ton of has way waves of support to mention here. But for this placing, we... Oh god, this actually feels like a tier 5 deck now that I'm really looking at it. Like, you have so many good options here. Like, actually. But it also feels inconsistent, too. Yeah, and this says it's going graveyard type 1. You have options. Like, you really do have options, but... Oh, this is hard. Oh, an OCG tournament deck. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this has a tournament result. It's in the OCG. It's not a tier 4 deck. That's good to know. This goes straight to tier 6. Yep, we don't have to worry about it. But what about non... We're splitting the tier. We're splitting the tier. We're gonna... This is... But for this placing, we will only consider... Consider the... old non... The old... It's bad. The old non... The deck. Those weird... Focused, odd... Oh god, what were old Performa Pals focused on? Go back to EDO Pro. Thank you for the hard work you put into your videos. Thank you for being so kind. I hope my tier list series will be worth it once I get to the next part. Yeah, this will be the non-Performa Pal pendulum stuff. I don't know if they... So they accept the pendulum monster. No, I think these are still one archetype. They are coherent enough. They're just bad. Yep. What we're going to do is we are going to replace the Hip Hippo. This section will be scrapped for now. And we'll replace it with a modernized version of it. I'm going to move this. We'll say top of week Rogue. This needs to be looked into more. Ugh. Pendulum deck. It just leaves an odd taste in my mouth because they're so... Because Pendulum monsters have double the effects to use, they're very hard to build around and understand, especially for someone who is not as in-depth as as invested as like an actual dedicated Pendulum player. Yeah, let's we'll use, what card should we use to represent the new Performa Pals? Probably Ginfrude. So let's... Oh, card gallery, Performa Pal Ginfrude. Just a more up-to-date version. Part 7. Then we're going to upscale them. So the real best use of AI is to upscale images. You can fake having high-quality images. It's so nice. Of course, the people at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom do get great scans of cards, but for some of the older ones where they weren't all up to standard, it's really nice to have this tool available. Okay, videos. Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier list image. There we go. And in case you're wondering how big the tier list file is, it is, I believe, several gigabytes. Insane. Yeah. And, oh yeah, and in case anyone's wondering, these placements in tier 6 and so aren't permanent for a lot of these decks. A lot of these decks have been moved up here just to know that they need to be specifically placed later. And Gertrude is one of those decks. Armed Dragon got moved up to deal with the, we got one of the Dragon Rulers back, right? Yeah, we got the Wind one, right? Did I close Yugioh Pro again? What was it? Tempest? Yeah, we got Tempest. Yeah, Tempest works with Armed Dragons. No, we had Tempest back for a while, right? Yeah, because you can run Tempest and Ritual Beast. Yeah. Oh, hard deck. Okay. I'm wondering if I need to move anything else down. Cosmos are probably going to end up being around tier 5 thanks to the new Fire King support. Ninjas may end up needing to be higher. I know they got some tournament results. Heretics are crazy, they go there. Crawlers are crazy, they go there. Red Dragon Archfiend and the Fangs go there. Constellars got moved up with the Satellarch Knight support. G-Golems need to be looked into. Where is my... Yep. So we'll just say Golem. Because G-Golem will... Oh, it's all Lava Golem stuff. Okay. Return to one of the summon for each card by hand. You can trip this card, summon 3 G-Golem tokens, and... Huh. They're just a generic Cyberse engine, aren't they? Yeah, they're just a generic extra deck engine. They're fine in tier 5. because they work with cyber stuff, and if you're a cyber's engine, you're automatically okay. Oh, yeah, it's just fine. This card is sent from the hand to the graveyard. Okay, and you search a Yugioh card. Yeah, it's just solid. And I know Crystal Heart's actually kind of cracked. Yeah, fine in tier 5. Baby Raccoons. Oh, yeah, sprites. Everything seems to be fine where they are. Tier 4 is just... because of all of the insane, like, legacy support we've gotten, all of the... tier 4 is slowly shrinking into tier 5. It's crazy. Like, they have done such a good job with legacy support and generic stuff. The amount of rogue decks is getting more and more viable. If the game was cheaper, we'd be in a golden age. Man. I wish I could tell people, or, you know, really explain to people how good and, like, expressive this game is. But it's so hard to get people past the combo, you know, the combo wall, and then the paywall. It's two of, like, the biggest walls to overcome for any card game ever. And just because the combos are long doesn't mean they're uninteractive. If you're building your deck properly with hand traps, disruptions, and other stuff, it's so back and forth and fluid. Oh, well. Okay, there's Tenyis. Where's Sword Soul? Did they get separated? Because they shouldn't be separated. They're the same deck. Oh my god, they got separated. There they are. Moe has separation anxiety. You can't move him too far away from the Tenyis. Sword Soul are probably gonna get bumped out of tier 8. Ooh, they're rough. Sword Souls are the, like, textbook definition of a fair and balanced deck. Especially with Halki Fibrax banned. Alright, back to this. And Ritual Beasts will also need to be updated. By the time we get around to, you know, tier 6, they're gonna get moved up, but we'll have to write a thing about them. Luckily, as a Ritual Beast enjoyer, I happen to know enough to write the whole thing about them without even giving you a list. Ritual Beasts are one of the only decks to get a card ban, not because of power level, but because of how long their combos would be. Since Ritual Beasts are a contact fusion deck with fusion monsters that tag back out into other materials, the deck would go through long loops of using Alticana Hawk to search 3 or 4 cards. Particularly Ritual Beast Steeds for tons of disruptions. the deck is it. Today, the deck is consistent, incredibly vulnerable to hand traps, especially. Nibiru. And just kind of lacking. However, there are a ton of new techs keeping the deck alive until its next wave of support in the new dual terminal pack. You know, what if I just mention that the deck's gonna get updated and just like preempt it so I don't have to like go back and talk about it? I'm a genius. Is this based on the TCG or both? This is based on the current TCG, but I think I'm going to just preempt this and say it's gonna go higher. And I can tell you where it's gonna be with the current support. It's gonna be tier 5. The new support is really good for the deck. Well, it's not like the Gen X support, which turns it into like this weird just mess, because the Link 1 Gen X god is ridiculous. And it's not already as good as something like Infernoids. Ritual Beast needed a lot. They got a lot, but they're still casual. Which, with the new support, can be confidently moved up in future to tier 5, to the middle of tier 5. For now, hey, good luck with the video, man. Thank you. Let's see. Ritual Beast can you abuse? Win the Wind Charmer. Oh my, hold on. Win the Wind Charmer. It discards its cost, right? Yeah, and one other wind monster. That's really good, because the new fusion monster, which banishes from Grave's cost, it's now not a neg to use Win the Wind Medium's effect. So you discard like that in Alticana, and then when you normal someone, whatever you normal, even if they like hand trap the Elder Kanahawk, you'll still be able to banish 2 to go into a fusion and start your combos anyway. Oh my god, that's how you play around hand traps in Ritual Beast now. That's amazing. Future stuff. That's future proofing stuff. I gotta tell that to my friend who's on Ritual Beast. He'd love that. Consistency. The wind. Tempest for combo plays. And for as an extender. Let's look at the community's Ritual Beast. You know what would be funny? If instead of like showing an actual that is not how you spell ritual. If instead of showing an actual Ritual Beast deck, I just showed the Pendulum build with soul what is it, soul recharge. The one that like lets you gain life points for every, not soul charge. It's something soul something. I cannot remember the name of the spell at the moment. Not monster spell. Soul Absorption. And the gimmick of the build, you just trigger Soul Absorption 50 times, and it's hilarious. It's actually a solid list. I like Reasoning as attack. Reasoning as attack is good. Yeah. What really holds this deck together is being able to play around banish cards like, oh, that I didn't give credit to that. This deck might be relevant as a bag rogue option because you can run 3 D-Shifter, 3-Dimensional Fisher, and 3 Macro Cosmos. Yeah. Hey man, are the Masters applications going okay? Yeah, they're actually. I've managed to finally get letters of recommendations from my previous professors. It took a lot of work. I had a lot of professors just say no to my face, which hurt a lot. But I finally got I got enough to apply, and it's going okay. Well, whenever I hear back from the school, hopefully it'll go. Hopefully it'll go okay. I'm sending an application out to A&M, which embarrassing to say, but I previously, I guess, failed out of the A&M engineering program a while back, which I ended up doing a lot better for myself once I got out of that school. But if the application goes well, I should accept it, because A&M's a big school, especially around Texas. I'm happy to hear it. I'm sorry that some professors just said flat out no. That hurts for sure. Yeah, I can't say I wasn't expecting it, though. I'm not a bad student, but I do have some I didn't get along with all my professors. And I did things like contesting grades, if that makes sense. And being the annoying student who would fight for 5 points on a test, Yo, why are we running the Noble Knight Shield Bearer? The win. It searches. Oh, that's funny. That's so good. This wouldn't work that well, though. You only... That's not good. That's really not good. I've done that too. I've had some professors who don't like me for that reason. Yeah. And I always felt that as a student, though, you have to be proactive about your grades, because if you don't contest something, you are in the wrong regardless. This person in the tag line just write what is what it is, because that's hilarious. Oh, you know what it is. I'm gonna use it is what it is in the next deck I post on here. That'll be funny. Shifter. Barrier. And Macro. Cosmos. The generic cards are just to game warping to not be accounted for, even if they don't push the deck out of casual. Holding back the deck really is just how hand trappable it is. The deck can fumble. This is a combo build. Summon Storm is new. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not great. It's not how trappable it is. That's a mood. Maybe Shifter's a better fit for the deck, but I don't have enough Ultra Dust to craft them. Holding back the deck is really just how hand trappable it is. Like, the deck folds to most. Yeah. Hand trappable it is. What else do I say? This is a good build of it, actually. I like the reasoning as a tech. It's just another starter. That's really hard to call. How untrappable it is, and just how few starters the deck has. You can't wait a turn to set up a Laura or win. So you need what does win do? It's when she's destroyed, right? Yeah. One other stun to like emergency teleport. Alright. Ritual Beast are one of the only decks to get a card banned, not because of power level, but because of how insanely long their combos would be. Oh, you want to hear a funny story? So one of my first Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments ever was with Ritual Beast. And I ended up getting second place at this locals because no one told me until the final round that you couldn't use the Tamer's effects, like Win and Laura's, to revive the fusion monsters from grave. Like, normal, this was during Necros format, so it was like normal summon Laura, revive Alticana Hawk, effect, tag out, and I forget what it was. I thought if they were fusion summoned, you know, like I thought they were like other fusion monsters. That like once you fusion summon them properly, you could summon them other ways, which you can't do because you didn't fusion summon them properly at all. But no one knew no one like cared to learn how the deck worked except for the one guy. Because it was just like, oh, it's Ritual Beast. They're stupid. That's what they do. So I got so far unfairly in a tournament because I didn't know how the deck worked. I couldn't read. No, actually, no, I read the cards. I just failed a comprehension check. Which is worse. Alright, back to this. Ritual Beast are one of the only decks to get a card banned, not because of power level, but because of how insanely long their combos would be. Since Ritual Beast are a contact fusion deck with fusion monsters that tag back out into other materials, the deck would go through long loops of using Alticana Hawk to search 3 or 4 cards. Particularly Ritual Beast Steeds for tons of disruptions. Today the deck is inconsistent, incredibly vulnerable to hand traps, especially in Nibiru, and just kind of lacking. Vulnerable? However, there are a ton of new techs keeping the deck alive until its next wave of support in the new dual terminal pack, which I hope I get more of. With which I think with which better. With which the new support can confidently be moved up in future to the middle of tier 5. For now, the deck uses cards like Wind the Wind Charmer for consistency, the Wind Dragon Ruler Tempest for combo plays, and Brain Research Lab as an extender. What really holds this deck together is being able to play around banished cards like Dimension Shifter, Dimensional Barrier, and Macrocosmos. These generic cards are just too game warping not to be accounted for, even if they don't push the deck out of casual. Holding back the deck really is just how hand trappable it is, and just how few starters the deck has. You can't wait a turn to set up a lure or a win, so you need Elder or another extender like Emergency Teleport. That's fair. That's a good write-up. And save. What is next? Sticks and chairs. Star Seraph are weird. Okay. No, there aren't a lot of Seraphs. Yeah, they're just... Seraphs are the weird win 3 or more XYZs. Nothing about this deck has changed. And so Seraph, yeah. So you go Scepter, search Chair, right? Really out of date, aren't they? Huh, you use it for Lapilation. That makes sense. Outdated XYZ engine. Yeah, they are. Now, the question isn't if they're optimal. It's how good are they? You know? It's like I say, Lightsworns are really good with Tearlaments. Now, Tearlaments are better with, like, Horse or something. But Lightsworns are probably best with Tearlaments. Yeah, with sticks, chairs, and stairs. Or scales. So goes. Yep. How'd you get the scale again? What was it? Yeah. Well, what were you... What are you... Huh. Ouroboros. I'm going to move them down, I think. I think that's fair. Why did I place them so high? Let's read what I said before about them. Because I feel like my placing them is odd. Let's see. Where's new folder? Seraph are the Bujin strategy, but significantly better. What you lose in being able to summon XYZ monsters with 2 materials, you make up for in a much better engine. That's Seraph's gimmick, by the way. It's summoning XYZ monsters with 3 materials. Good news is, the deck works extremely well with the new Utopia and Go support, similar to how Battling Boxers do. This deck can play around hand traps pretty well, and is able to run about 9. Okay, I know what happened here. I overvalued being able to run hand traps, as opposed to just being a competent deck. The deck can't really work with the Adventure engine, but it can do some fun plays like make F-Zero Utopic Drake a future, as well as C-104 Umblar Masquerade, who to this day is still one of my favorite cards. And here's a list I found. Okay. I'm gonna look at this. Convince me, almighty list. This list is mid. No, it is. It's just a really straightforward XYZ monster or XYZ spam deck. Oh, but the chair replaces itself. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, it's not that bad. Okay. Yeah, they're just kind of meh. I'm gonna leave this up. Oh, almost. I think they're actually fine where they are, but hmm. I think boot. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. No, they're perfectly fine where they are. Yeah. Yeah, they're like the textbook definition of okay. Star Seraph are an incredibly straightforward XYZ engine. Incredibly straightforward XYZ engine that only have one unique gimmick. That is having its best cards locked to the XYZ summon of a monster that needs 3 materials. Yeah, but you have options. Oh. Yeah, you really do have options. The deck's basic engine. Okay. We'll go first into what it does. What keeps this deck above the rest is that the materials not only summon themselves for free, I'll say cheap, for cheap, they also provide extra draws. Chair is an easy draw 1, and Scepter is also removal. For rank 4 options, you have Evil Swarm Ouroboros, Hi, can I ask you if you have any plans on doing a sequel to the Downfall of Cardfight Vanguard? Now standard format is stuck in a rush meta, where most decks in the game in turn 3. Oh, and V is dead. I have thoughts about the current state of Vanguard. It's not gotten better, which is a big thing. I do keep up with the game, and for some reason, the only format that's like improved is premium. It's still got the same problem with prices, but they actually gave it, the new defensive mechanic of Harmonix Messiah, which is really good. If it wasn't $70, I'd probably be playing in more events for it. I'd actually playing in events for it, I should say, not more. I'm currently not playing in Vanguard. But the sales have continued to go downward. TCG Player removed Cardfight Vanguard from their store again after adding it back temporarily. And event turnout is down across the board. Meta-wise, it's just kind of awkward. English hasn't gotten half the meta Japan got, because half of the Japan meta was weird crossover sets. Like, we got Japan got Bugs as a meta and Token Rambu as a meta, which is weird. So English meta has been a bit less diverse than Japan meta. Plus, with the format just getting faster and faster, you know? Like, they had Strides power creep out standard, and they power crept out Strides, and they're about to repower creep them in with the new Shiranui Dominate stuff. Like, power creep wise, it's insane. They're doing exactly what they did with V again. Like, they released Messiah, like, with Strides into Standard, and it kind of didn't impact much. Like, it had some tournaments, of course, but it just wasn't fast enough. Also Gandiva, which is crazy. And, of course, V is dead. They merged products for it. It's insane. And I really want to like Vanguard. What Vanguard needed to do was market itself more aggressively as a side option to other games that's fun, casual, and most importantly, cheap. Like, Vanguard is designed around, in Japan, as being a side game for other games. Like, before you do another tournament, or maybe after, you take your Vanguard deck and you play in some events before it. It's why it's best of one over here, because it's meant to be a quick event before other card games. But man, it is like $400-500 for a lot of the major Vanguard decks right now. It's crazy. It's so insane. Like in Godiva, which was like $200-300. What was it? $200-300. That was cheap. That was a cheap deck. People were okay with that. And it sucks because of how like cheap the set one it was. Me and a lot of players feel like the game lied to us about what it was trying to do, you know? Like, the early boxes were so cheap, and then they increased box prices. Speaking of which, box prices are just in the gutter for a lot of sets right now. My local store got a bunch of, I think what was set 11 Clash of Heroes. It's the one that's currently, the boxes that are going for like $20 on TCG Player, but are retailing at like $60. It's just the box price test. If boxes are like selling well below MSRP, that is a failure on the company. It is bad. Like, let me check out my Twitter real quick. I had tweeted a thing, or I'd retweeted something that was really this right here. This is the most damning thing I've ever seen for Vanguard. This is a great store, 50 cards, and the prices they are selling their boxes for are unheard of. Advance of Intertwining Star, the Lyrical Monasterio set. These were $50 boxes that you can currently get for $12 each. And there's Clash of Heroes, $25 for like a $60 box. Same thing with the Onslaught set and Dragon Tree Invasion. That's not good. That's terrible. And their premium and their premium reprint set, the same thing. And that's including chase cards like Messiah. Another thing, they've also destroyed pull ratios of boxes. It used to be when you buy a case, you got 8 copies of every triple rare, but because they've increased the number of triple rares and decreased the pull rates, you're now struggling to get a playset. Reprint wise, they also failed. I realize I'm ranting, but Vanguard is just, it's made the worst decisions. I only play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Shadowverse. Was the game good? Set 1 through 5 of Vanguard were really fun. Like, for standard. For G format, which was the old one, there were some really fun formats as well. Basically, Vanguard had 3 rotations. And, like, the beginning parts of each rotation were really fun. Before Vanguard, or before Bushiroad ruined the game with power creep out the ass. It's bad how much they've power crept each of these formats. But premium is fun if you can afford it. It's extremely complicated. Like, starts to rival Yu-Gi-Oh! And complicated. Like, actually, it's bad, especially depending on the deck you play. You know. But yeah, I want Vanguard to do better, but they probably won't, and they haven't been. It's been just straight downward trend. I don't think they can reboot the game another time. There's just too much competition, and it's just rough. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's buy 3 boxes, get 1 free. Oh my god, it's so bad. It is so bad. I had a friend buy a lyrical the lyrical melody set box 1 for the full like $600. He lost so much money. It's just painful. Like it is a 50-50 chance your Vanguard set just is worthless. It's bad. It's so bad. Alright. Sorry for that rant. Alright. Star Seraphs. Rank for options, you have Evil Swarm or Ouroboros. Where was my... Haha. From Ouroboros. Pre-Math Mech. Laplation. He's an actual good one, right? What else do you want to go for at Star Seraphs? Okay. And if you're playing a rank up build, number 104, Masquerade for the memes. That sounds about right, dude. I had to basically move from Vanguard to Commander, mainly because Standard lacks gameplay styles and is literally just rush decks and some control. It's just sad. Yeah. It's weird because it's not technically a tier 0 format, but every deck plays so similar to each other. It is so much potential. Vanguard has so much potential as a casual card game. I want it to be good. I want to be able to sit down and play Vanguard with friends. But Bushiroad has destroyed that. Let's see. Number 104 Masquerade for the memes. Okay. You can run them with, well, anything, honestly. You can... You can run with almost anything. Be it generic. Anything. We'll say, but most popular is the, what was it? thinking is the utopic hand rank up packages. It's definitely overall Star Seraph are just the definition of a casual deck. Does One Piece have, or not One Piece, sorry. Does Vanguard have rotation? No. It's actually not supposed to. But what happens is because Bushiroad inevitably keeps power creeping the game so much, they just do a full reset on the game and make all the cards that were supposed to be like its own thing worthless. It's happened 2 times already, so we're on the 3rd format. Also, thanks for doing basically a sequel of one of your popular videos on the spot. That is what I did. Maybe I'll just take what I said there, convert it into a script, and actually whip one up. It's not a bad idea. I just... a bit embarrassing, but I don't enjoy a lot of the negativity I get when I do videos like that. You get used to it, but it's just... I don't know. I don't like it. When something needs to be said, like with Konami's like borderline illegal printing practices, I'll do it. You know, I have to. If a company's doing something wrong, you gotta say something. But for something like that, where it's just pooping on an already bad card game in an already like abused community, it's hard to do. I really only made the first one because I was leaving Vanguard, and I thought I needed to do a proper explanation. Casual deck. And there's not much to say about the 400th XYZ. You know what would be a funny line for this tier list? What if we just count up how many generic rank 4 XYZ decks there are in the game? That would actually be pretty funny. Let's see. How many are there? 1. That's not really. 2. You know, I'll count outer entities as 1. 2.5. We'll say fire hands are half of 1. 3.5. 4.5. 5.5. 6.5. 7.5. 8.5? Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. You know, Constellars count 9.5. This is going to be a really funny line. 9.5. Fire Fist? No, they have like their own continuous spell thing. That's unique enough. 9.5. Yeah, Evil Swarms, 10.5. 11.5. 12.5. There we go. 13.5, 14.5, 15.5. Remember, there aren't really any in the top tiers. Well, Zodiac, but they're their own thing. Yeah, there are 15.5 other decks on the tier list that exist exclusively to make just generic rank 4s. To be fair, Konami is doing okay with his reprints. And then there's SP Little Knight, who's basically Baron 2.0. My Konami. They take one step forward and 10 steps back. By the way, there are 15.5 decks on this tier list that exist exclusively for making generic rank 4 monsters. I'll let you figure out what the 0.5 is. There we go. I like how immediately after the Rarity Collection, Konami comes out with a set where the entire archetype is a secret rare. Centurion. Centurions are all ultra rares, which is the same thing because it's it's one of the deck build packs. It's so stupid. But the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh, just like with their box structure, is it doesn't matter how many reprints there are, because the base rarity of cards is the problem. I really do want to release a video called Reprints Don't Matter, where I just lay out the problem outright, but it's kind of something I've already done with my actual video. It would just be saying it outright, and I don't want to retread that ground too much. I'm working on a much bigger video right now, which I need to get back on after I finish this. But I'll pull it up. It's actually something I kind of want to talk about. Where was it? But it's about how card prices are bad for consumers, and I have a lot done with it. I'm gonna try to interview some card shops about it. It's just on the list of stuff to do. But it explains. It starts. So the first part is like just a basic explanation of supply and demand and how that applies to card games with a shitload of examples. Like, extreme. And we talk about, who high card prices benefit, how that affects box sales, how it affects casual players differently. And then we'll move into actual, like, how it affects local game stores. It's a big video I had an idea for. It needs a lot more work, and I just kind of have the outlines right now. But it could be. By the way, on like a majority of Magic the Gathering products right now, a lot of their margins are negative. Like, particularly Jumpstart products are like the big one. And the margins are negative because on like TCG Player and other places, the boxes are so overprinted, they're selling on these sites for less than MSRP. And also, the profit margin for your average game store is only 3%, with a really kind of inconsistent total sales turnover. I don't know if you guys know too much about business, but that's really awkward. And it's not... And the OCG sets are better. Yeah, 100%. But the 30% average profit margin with inconsistent sales is just... It means you're going to need to have a lot of like saved capital to not go under from like a bad year. But yeah. Also, I get to mention this, which is something I just wanted to say in a video. It's how resellers, scalpers, and local game stores are all different things. I feel like that's just not mentioned enough. Just like the distribution of them, because they designed their sets around making supply of in-demand cards just artificially lower due to rarity hiking them and not providing alternatives. It blows. Yeah, it sucks. The only thing I will say for Konami in that department, at least they do not lock cards into promos. That is my number one pet peeve about Bandai and Bushiroad games, is the promo rarity of cards. I should not have to go out and play events, to get cards. To get mechanically unique cards. Heaven forbid I can't. I recently did One Piece Regional. Got blown out, by the way. Happens. And it was in Fort Worth, which it's a 4-hour drive away from me. I live in Houston, and that was hard. That was a big financial commitment because I have to take the weekend. I have to set aside gas, and I did get a hotel. It's a lot. And I did get crazy promos, and I got mechanically unique promos. I do actually want to run in decks. I got my my yellow Sanji that is really good in Yamato. I should be able to open this card in a pack or in some sort of product. It's just and they don't even have to do mechanically unique cards to get value, because the most expensive card I pulled from the event was from the rare Dawn card they give you. I got the Tony Chopper Dawn. Just an easy $70 for entering that's not mechanically unique and is just an alt art. But that's enough about me complaining about promos. I could do it all day. And I probably will for the next what I've decided to do for my YouTube stuff. So how I have the 3 sets into One Piece review thing? I'm going to do one for when we get the 5 sets in. It just looks cool. Oh. Did I go out? There we go. Yeah. Just dropping in to say that I love your videos and shorts. I love your in-depth analysis and find it super informative and enjoyable. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I really do try. It means a lot to hear people say that. Alright. Where were we on the tier list? Oh, I think it's time for Restrict. Yeah, okay. Once we get Restrict, I can begin working on the first half of part 4. Because I already have Spirits done, so that'll be Spirits to Nephthys. It'll be so good to get tier list out. I do really hate doing the tier list. They take so much out of me, but they do feel really good to have out, and I know people love viewing them. So, Thousand Eyes Restrict. I believe I already have a deck list for them. Oh God, what were they under? Restrict? No. Oh dear, what were they under? Despia, maybe? Despia Shadal, Despia Shadal Master Duel, Despia Meta. What the? Oh, this is an old list. This is back when it was during engine format, where you just slapped 400 engines together and it just kind of worked. Enter Dark World. It's not under Despia. It's probably under Branded. It is not under Branded. No, I have one somewhere. Yeah, Noble Knight. Somewhere there is one. Oh well. I will have to find it. But the gimmick is you can use branded to set up for like the good 1000-eyed fusions. It's actually pretty solid. Probably under Restrict, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, you can use it as an easy way to go into Millennium Eyes Restrict to help make your Illusionist and like Golden Eyes Idol live. You know, another thing, it is just too bad that none of these cards are all spellcasters and not illusion type monsters. Unfortunate. Yeah. I'll have to cook up that list. Let me see if someone has one online, because I could use that and then... Nope. They do probably run Restrict, though, because it's a really good card. This deck may be illegal in every format. Well, you know, I think it is. For some reason. One of these is more of a problem than the other ones, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, this person's not using branded. Yeah. Restrict Master Duel. Alright, you know, I'll just have to build one. No way around it. So we'll take one of my branded cores. Or my Despia cores. Take Despia meta. I'm going to go Despia Restrict, save as. And let's clear some of these extra cards we're not going to be running in this build. Keep that. Keep Branded Fusion. I do like the one draw. That's funny. Alright. Yep. This is gone. I don't need that. No construct. We're not going to be playing it. Go boop, boop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And what were the requirements for this? One relinquish was 1000 Eyes Idle. So we need to put in a relinquished, right? Or relinquished plus effect monster, so we need to throw in a relinquished. Yep, that's important. This is the main one. Graveyard. Target one for monster choke of the target. What did this do? Just worry about the special card. Going 2 of that. Chimera. Do I even want to play Dragoons in this build? Probably not, but I suppose we might as well, since we're already running the Hexfield Fusion to count as relinquished. Then we want Instant Fusion. What else? Oh yeah, we need the actual... Eyes link. Links are at the bottom. Okay, what was the name of the link? I can't remember. Well, I have one in my Rescue Ace deck. That is where I could find the name of that. That's my Noble Knight deck. Where is it? Is it not just... You know, I'll just look up a Rescue Ace deck. It'll come up. Relinquish Anima. Okay. go. Probably going to want to run 2 of that since we can also make it off of Tragedy. Well, no, we're doing the Despia engine, so only 1. Cut that. There we go. Do we need the Tis for anything here? No, we don't. Cut that. Yeah, and then we have room for even more staples. What else should we run in our Relinquish deck? Oh. Did I not spell it right? Relinquished. Guess they're just not called that, so we'll just go, yeah, just restrict. Are there any other good techs I should know about? That's the question. Restrict in 2013. Oh, this is an interesting build. This uses Tearlaments. I don't hate this. That's pretty interesting, actually. Instant Fusion. Super Poly would not be a bad call here. Oh, Super Poly would be kind of funny. Because you go, okay, normal this guy. He becomes Thousand Eyes Idol. Super... I don't think that's consistent enough to do. It's funny, but it's definitely not consistent enough to do. Yeah, you could run pre-prep in this. I don't think that's that good. So yeah, no, you would run Super Poly. There you go. What is the... There's the stupid bird. Cut that to 1. I'm going to run that at 1 still because, you know, no reason not to. Yep. And then we're going to go Super Poly. And then what is that new warrior type that's really good? There's a new fusion monster that takes 2 warrior types. So it's really good because it hits SP Little Knight and Baron de Fleur. We'll just look at warrior. I am just blind, good to know. It was new from the new set. I'll find it. There's so many elemental heroes. Why are there so many of them? Nova Master. Oh well, we'll be fine with just Garura. Yeah, sorry, I had the cough there. Alright, that's fine. Well, this is a solid enough list. No one's gonna complain too much about this. You can go into Dragoons if you need to. You have Garura as a Super Poly target. Potentially... Oh. Gotta go. Good night. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I guess we run 1 Relinquished. Because reasons. Ooh. Well, I guess we could put Hexil Fusion into the... Could we count this as a... genius. Yeah. Okay. We'll show the monkey list for this. Also known as restrict or alright, janky set of anime support. The janky set of anime support based around equipping your opponent's monsters to relinquished. That is not how you spell. I have spelled it like differently every time. To relinquished. Traditionally, these monsters have been very hard to access, but with the newer monsters, they are significantly more generic, letting them even be a tech in some cases, like anima or with restrict and what's the name? Instant fusion. Reeling. Okay. These are popular because of how good equipping an opponent's monster is as a rule. The decks in Arcade type support let's see. Opponent's hand, this name is also this goes banished into grave of a card effect, and target one effect monster opponent controls, equip that effect monster. Okay. We should only run one idle. That is, yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I like these as one-ofs. Type support of a mediocre, a great great. Equip hand trap. A graveyard recursion piece. A more removal. And a fusion spell that is also more equip removal. An equip removal hand trap, a graveyard recursion piece, more equip removal, a fusion spell that's also more equip removal. You banish card from your graveyard. And that's about it. Unfortunately, being really good at this type of removal doesn't get this deck beyond casual. Having no starters and only removal is not a good recipe for a deck. I heard you say these videos take a lot of work, but watching you actually work on it really puts it into perspective. This is a crazy project to undertake. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I started to do these, because I don't think people really got how much it takes to work with these. It takes to do these. Because some of I do have to build my own decks for some of these. I have to understand how these decks work. And while everyone already has decks, they know what they do somewhat. You have to double check. Make sure. And because there are some decks you just don't know. Starry Night, I had to do a whole bunch of stuff to figure out how they replay it. I checked their Discord, stuff like that. But I hope all the work for it makes a good video. And thank you for your nice words. Unfortunately, being really good at this type of removal doesn't get this deck beyond casual. Having no starters and only removal is not a good recipe for the deck. Luckily, this deck can take advantage of the generic branded fusion engine by using Exiled Fusion. We can actually go into the extra deck. Okay, we want consists. It's a whole. What is the branded? Let's see. Look at this. It is 1. It's 3. 6. It's 9 additional starters. Yeah, it's a whole 9. People will look at you funny for making Millennial Eyes Restrict off of branded fusion, but we don't care. But we didn't pick up Millennium. We didn't pick up Restrict as a deck to care what other people think. We didn't pick up Restrict. Spell check. Okay. Let's save. Relinquished, also known as Restrict or Thousand Eyes, are a janky set of animated support-based equipping. Anime support based around equipping your opponent's based around equipping your opponent's monsters to Relinquished. Traditionally, these monsters have been very hard to access, but with newer monsters, they are significantly more generic. Newer boss monsters, I should specify that. But with newer boss monsters, they are significantly more generic, letting them even be a tech in some cases, like Relinquished Anima or with Restrict and Instant Fusion. These are popular because of how good equipping an opponent's monster is as removal. I should have like a thing. Like, it dodges a lot of protections. It dodges an absurd amount of protections. Like, it dodges an absurd amount of protections. The deck's in-archetype support consists of a great removal hand trap. A great equip removal hand trap, a graveyard recursion piece, more equip removal, and a fusion spell that is also more equip removal. And that's really about it. And that's really about it for the deck. Oh yeah, need to add a note here for show monkey deck. Unfortunately, being really good at this type of removal doesn't get this deck beyond casual. Having no starters and only removal is not a good recipe for a deck. Luckily, this deck can take advantage of the generic branded fusion engine. By using Hex Sealed Fusion, we can actually go into the extra... Okay, something did not go right in the sensor. We can go into the extra deck. We can go into the Restrict extra deck, no worries. We can go into the Restrict extra deck, no worries. Like, it's a whole 9 additional starters that don't conflict with the deck. Hell, it's actual starters. Have I sworn in this video already? That's a funny YouTube thing you have to watch out for. Like, you can't... you can't swear. You get paid less. You get paid less, and it's... In some cases, YouTube won't promote your video as much. Oh, well. We'll get rid of the like. We shouldn't say like too much. That's not good speaking. So we'll say it's a whole 9 additional starters that don't conflict with the deck. People will look at you funny for making Millennium Eyes Restrict off of branded fusion, but we didn't pick up Restrict as a deck to care about what other people think. Yeah. That's a good 2 paragraphs. And I already have Spirits done. That's a typo. And I can call this here for part 1 of the tier 4. Splitting them so I can do these more often. And more accurately, I really want one of these out. So yeah, tomorrow I'll start working on the graphics, and I'll see if I can record it, and then I'll start the editing process. Alright, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching today. I am going to call this video here. For those of you who want to see the VODs of this, they go up on my second channel. They get uploaded as soon as they finish processing. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. A lot of good conversations about other things. A lot of nice words from all you people. I'm genuinely really glad to have all of you guys as my wonderful fan base. It means a lot. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you next time.